What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Brick Talk, episode 27. Today we are talking about every retiring LEGO Star Wars set in 2025. So let's keep in mind that the retirement list is still very much in flux, and it can and will change as the year goes on.
All right, DG, two Star Wars brickheads are retiring this year. We're going to knock those out. The first one is the 2-pack 40547, Obi-Wan, Kenobi, and Darth Vader. Right here is the main data point to look at. It has been out for over 3 years. That gives me a lot of concern. Let's look at the most recent Star Wars 2-pack that retired back in 23. Also had a very long shelf life, retailed for $20, and it's going for $16.80 according to Brickset.
Okay, but brick set prices, asterisk, I have sold these on Walmart for like $34. What concerns me about this set is it's from the Obi-Wan series, I'm pretty sure, which is already over with, whereas something like the Tusken Raider or Ahsoka is something that's present more in general Star Wars lore. Something like Mando and the Child can also come back into relevance later, like when we're going to potentially see a Mandalorian movie coming soon. I have seen this selling on eBay as high as $40, but with the long shelf life, I can rank this no higher than BARC Speeder B tier. And it's important to keep in mind for all of the sets we're talking about today, we are ranking these in terms of their LEGO investment potential, not how much we like them.
We all know that I like the brickheads a lot better than you do, but I can't rank this one higher than C tier playset. That long shelf life really has me worried.
All right, Kevin, if you insist, we can bump this down to high C tier. Let's see what else this list has for us.
I figured I would not have to twist your arm on moving a brickheads down on the list. And of course, the other brickheads retiring this year is the single pack Clone Commander Cody. I like this one a lot better.
Well, Kevin, what do you think that the recently retired Cody helmet is off to a bit of a slow start? The prices are right around MSRP of $70. Is Cody demand being saturated a little bit, and will this brickhead suffer for it?
Yeah, I think a little bit, but remember, helmets are talked about so much in the investing community, and that Cody helmet was on sale for really cheap a number of times. Tons of supply. It'll do okay after another year or so.
I just wonder if Cody demand is being overestimated and if that niche is already saturated.
Oh, it's definitely being overestimated. I'm not putting this high on our tier list, but I'm not worrying about it as much as you are.
Like, what are we going to get next? A Commander Cody mech? I don't want to be too harsh to this because I was a little too harsh to the Cody helmet the first time around last year. So I'm going to place Cody a little bit higher in BARC Speeder B tier.
I am right there with you. And what in the world are we calling that BARC Speeder B tier for? We are going to get to the BARC Speeder, and that is a trash set. Just a little bit of foreshadowing.
The next set is one of my favorites, which appeared last October, and if it retires at the end of 25, it'll have just a 14 or 15 month shelf life. Extremely short, LEGO exclusive set. This is the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. $40 MSRP, a little bit steep, but it's basically a 2-in-1 battle pack, and if you split that value in half, 20 bucks a piece, the value's not bad here. You also get this QT-KT Astromech. That's a little bit cute. I don't think that adds up much in terms of the long-term investment performance of this set, but it's an Astromech droid nonetheless. But at the moment, Stormtroopers are a little bit few and far between in cheap sets, and so this is one of the cheapest ways to get them. Also, these Rebel Fleet Troopers, great to see. So this is an awesome set, and I think if it goes 30% off at Shop at Home, like many LEGO exclusive sets occasionally do, this could be a good pickup.
And one thing that I really do like about this set is the 3.8 rating. That's low, and I think it's just because the price. It's 40 bucks, 7 minifigures, you split it in half, it's 2 sets like you said, 3 minifigures each. It feels a little light on minifigures. So I actually think because of that, it's going to fly under the radar a little bit. I don't think this will be over-invested. I mean, there will be a lot because it's a low price point, but I don't think it'll be crazy over-invested in. But DG, you said the Astromech droid is probably not a big deal one way or the other. Well, let's look at the minifigures and the value. We've got some different Stormtrooper and Fleet Troopers in here, but when we scroll down,
wow,
that is a super awesome Astromech because of the pink with the metallic printing on it.
Well, I'm getting deja vu, a $40 play set with an exclusive fig. This reminds me of the AAT and that 332nd Trooper. Is this pink Astromech going to get re-released in a battle pack with helmet holes? Let's hope not. But man, that's a serious component of the value if $17 of it is currently Astromech droid, meaning you get the rest of that whole thing for $23. Man, I'm loading up. The value is amazing.
Yeah, and think about that, 23 for 6 other minifigures, where each of those is $3 or $4 on their own. So that's another 20 bucks in minifigures. It's already paid for itself.
The original trilogy has eternal demand, so do not sleep on sets from it. And as much as this may bore me, these Stormtroopers and Fleet Troopers, this is what a lot of LEGO Star Wars fans want, and so I expect there's going to be pretty good demand on this, as well as another set we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Let's rank it. The Rebel Scout Speeder and Imperial Dropship Battle scale pack is a solid choice Lego investment.
I almost went absolute winner Lambo Fire, but I'm good with solid choice. I think it's going to stay at the top of the solid choice list. It is almost top tier for me. 75304 Darth Vader helmet, over a 3.5-year shelf life, $80.
This is like maybe the greatest Lego helmet of them all in terms of iconicness and characters that you want in a helmet bust form on your bookshelf. Darth Vader tops that list, and so I think this is going to be a fantastic Lego investment. The only question is, how widespread will the discounts be from its $80 MSRP? A little bit steep. It was supposed to retire last year, so we have to keep in mind it has an extra year of availability. But I still think there's new Lego Star Wars fans all the time, and anybody who missed this, who gets into the hobby tomorrow or the next year or the year after that, they're all going to have demand for this. Prior comps look good on this. I am full steam ahead on it at a good price.
So I am not. I am very unlikely to invest
What
in this.
in the world are you talking about?
Now, if it gets in the $45 range, then I would pick some up. But if the best that I see is in the mid-50s, I'm probably only getting a few at most. And the reason is this Boba Fett helmet right here, the other one with a long shelf life, it's been retired over 2 years already, and $60 to $75 on Brickset.
Brickset prices are always so low on the low end of prices. And I will note that this was a $60 MSRP, way cheaper. I got mine for like 44 or 45 bucks. As a Walmart seller, selling for 110, if I bought these for 44, which I did, then after fees, I'm right down to under 100 bucks, which is over doubling my money. And yes, I held these for 2 years, but I didn't mind it. I thought these would be a great hold. I had actually like 2 dozen of these originally, sold them off gradually, and sold off nearly all of them. So no complaints. It's just another difference in pricing. You really have to look at where you're selling your set to gauge prices on the Lego market, because things can vary pretty wildly.
So depending upon your volume and approach, different sets may or may not be a good pickup. And so we're actually getting to a pretty similar conclusion here, which is that I don't want to hold for over 2 years. I'd like to be holding for about a year and a half, and I'm not ready to jump to Walmart yet. And so for that, I would need a really good price on these. Whereas, similar to what you're saying, because of how iconic Darth Vader is, clearly this set is going to be highly desired for probably a couple of decades, if not longer. And I think that desirability will keep climbing. You know, we've seen a lot of sets, Star Wars sets, you know, if they're not specific to original trilogy or key characters, they retire, they go up, and then they plateau. But original trilogy, classic key character sets, they just keep going up. But again, my concern is I don't want to hold it for over 2 years.
I see nothing wrong with a 2-year hold. And personally, the way I look at sets, I look at the box in the store on the shelf. What price could I conceivably sell this for? With the Darth Vader helmet, that price is to me easily $100, right? Once it's retired, a sealed one of those. So my thought is, if I want to sell for $100, if I can get this product for $50 or even $45, the Luke Red 5 helmet, another very profitable one, people got for $43, okay?
Yep.
This is like the magic price for making money with helmets. And so if we see Vader for $45, I'm going to go in big on that, obviously, because it's selling for $100 just a year after retirement. I'm calling it.
All right.
Maybe even 120.
So what's really interesting is maybe 6 months or a year ago, I was talking more on our podcast about being okay with longer hold times, and you were wanting shorter hold times.
It's not even that. It's just a matter of comparing the return and accurately assessing your return. Like, I figure this. That was a after fees on these helmets that I've purchased at 43, 45 bucks. My average return, again, I'd have to look at my books, but it's around a doubling, 100% after fees and taxes and everything. That's a 100% return in 2 years. If I'm doing all this work with Lego investing, it better be a better return than the stock market. So if I'm going to bust my butt and do all this work just to make, 15%, that's not so good, because the stock market average is what, 7 or 8% over inflation over the last 100 years. Nobody knows the future, of course, but historically, that's a pretty good precedent. So with Lego investing, 100% in 2 years, that pretty much exceeds the stock market. That's one of the best reasons to do Lego investing, is that you're so much limited on your downside, whereas your upside, you can easily double in 2 years. I don't mind holding for 2 years. Longer than 2 years is where I start not to love things. So let's cut to the chase. Let's put Vader where he belongs. Absolute winner, Lambo Fire tier.
I mean, I can't do that. You're controlling the tier list like last time. I know people commented that we should have 2 separate tier list. Maybe we'll do that sometime in the future, but
so to be clear,
not a Lambo Fire for me. I would be putting it below the Dropship on solid choice.
Absolutely not. This is slander.
Can we average it out to the top of the solid choice? No, let's leave it in Lambo Fire. I want to be able to give you crap about it in the future.
Up next to the UCS Razor Crest 75331. I love this set. This is an amazing UCS set that bridges the gap between a playset interior and an amazing display set. Now, I know this ship got blown up, but if they ever do another return to this Mandalorian series in the future for a 10-year anniversary or something, this set is going to see a surge in demand. So demand for this has been pretty consistent, slow and steady, 100 plus spot in the last month at the current price of just $30 off. And I'm betting that demand will be slow and steady into the future.
We're hearing rumors that there might be some flashbacks to it, or at least some occasional references. And I think that could, add a little bit of a lore around this set, right? A little bit of a mystery around it. And I think there could be some bumps in the future, like you said.
Some minor complaints I have are that there are stickers on this and that the grays don't perfectly match. With how much we're paying for this, that's kind of unacceptable. And we would hope that LEGO would have better quality standards. Only the best is good enough, right? 6,100 parts for $600 is really good price per part, especially for a UCS set.
After all that gushing, we do have to keep in mind that it is a Mandalorian set. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was okay. Season 3 kind of fell out. People don't love Mandalorian right now because of Season 3. At best, I can put it at the top of BARC Speeder B tier.
Top of the tier, better than Cody?
I think so.
I'm happy with that. I will say we have one more UCS set to talk about in a few minutes. For now, let's leave her there.
Next up, DG, we have the Coruscant Guard Gunship set 75354. There are three things that I really like about this set. One is the less than 2.5 year shelf life. However, I will point out that it was on the retirement list briefly last year. It's a little bit of a strike against it because maybe people load it up and there's more supply on the secondary market than there normally would be. The second thing I like about it is that the minifigures, 5 of them, are valued at over $70.
1 year ago, when we were reviewing this set, the minifigures were worth the exact same, $70.
Okay.
So demand has not gone down with shelf life as usually happens. I think because this set has been not frequently discounted very deeply. And for that reason, I'm considering it very closely. It's a great build. It's a little smaller, but man, this thing is built rock solid. The Technic interior with the handle there, the carry handle, a little trickier to get it full of troops. It's not exactly massable, Republic gunship, the classic version, but I don't think it really matters. If you look at every other Republic gunship, we have nothing but Gameborn to look at. Then you look at those clone troopers, the Commander Fox. Yes, I know it's a terrible minifigure, but you got Chancellor Palps there and Padme. So what's not to love?
And you got some color on it, which is nice. So it's great to have the same design, basically, but a different look, right? Go to a different era in the Star Wars canon. And the third thing that I really like about this set, DG, are the demand numbers. 900 sales velocity per month right now. And remember, this is the cool time of year for buying Star Wars and LEGO in general. But as we approach May 4th and beyond, these Star Wars sets will have increased sales velocity. It is on sale right now for 112. A little bit of a discount. I think that is a much more fair price. Let's also look at Bucky.
Inside of BrickBucks Ignite, link in the description below.
Average sales rank is 10,000 or less. Average daily rank drops over 5. That is huge. All green lights. And then something we don't see so often this early in the year is we have some yellow lights over here on price on Amazon when it's out of stock. Usually these are red this time of year. So this one is showing the good demand signs.
Last Q4 went out of stock as high as $199, $200 there. Looking at some past gunships here, we have this one from 2013, I believe, widely regarded as the best gunship. Not my personal favorite, but it has gone, I believe, 100 up to, 859. We have this ancient gunship, the very first one, which has gone from, I believe, $80 or something like that, up to $1,300. And I couldn't find my favorite gunship, but the 7676 is also well over $500. All Republic gunships in the past have done amazingly. I don't care that this isn't a mainline one. I think it's easily going to reach 200, and I will be looking closely at it at $100.
100% agree. Let's rank it.
I believe last year when we thought this would retire, we ranked it in the top tier. I'm going to repeat that and hope we don't get burned again. If this doesn't retire this year, I'll be so mad because I really want to invest in this.
Me too. And if it doesn't retire the end of this year, it's going all the way to the bottom. But right
It's
now,
going in the top of absolute winner Lambo fire tier, baby.
and the other thing too is I think some people are still kind of mad at that set. So I don't think that there's going to be an overabundance of supply on the secondary market.
Well, it looked on Bucky there like there were only 18 or so third-party sellers, so not completely oversupplied. Probably some opportunity there.
UCS set number 2, 75355 X-Wing Starfighter. Over a 2.5-year shelf life, $240 for 1949 pieces. It is the third X-Wing UCS version. I'm not a big fan for investing. What do you think, DG?
I always thought when this first released that it looks like a low-riding like Lincoln with those giant engines. It kind of looks sweet, actually. I know maybe it's not accurate, but I don't hate this set at all. And for $240 retail, yeah, that's too high. But to pay like $200 or maybe even $180 for this, I could see you making money on this. You know, if they don't immediately re-release another UCS X-Wing, this has room to grow. What, up to $300? And if you got it for $200, you know, it could be okay. Kevin, what do you think?
On the surface, DG, my concern is this set right here. It retired in 2015 on Brickset, $200 to $281. This is misleading, though. The price is down because we have the new UCS X-Wing. Because here on Camel 3X for the 2015 version, current price is misleading because we would have sold ours off before that happened. And so if the buy-in price is $200, you know, $350 here in 2020, decent. Not awesome, but decent.
And this sold over $500 there at the peak in 2021.
Yeah, but I feel like this big jump was because of a world event that is unlikely to happen again anytime soon.
Well, that could be true as well, but I think it's really the re-release that is responsible for that. What, from 500 to 300 is a 40% decline?
I think this one will do okay, but I'm not thinking it's going to go crazy like the two previous.
I just am waiting for a UCS MTT or a UCS Droid Lucre Hulk, the donut ship, or the H-shaped landing craft in brown. That would be so boring in UCS. Never mind, please don't do that. But there's so many other good UCS that they should do, and I feel like the X-Wing, like, is it worth the shelf space if you're only going to get 3 UCS sets? I'm not sure.
Yep. I know. I wish they would not have done a third of this and something they've never done a UCS of before.
I think this goes below our other UCS Razor Crest in the bottom of BARC Speeder B tier. And this is assuming you can get it at a fat discount from that $240 retail. In fact, just thinking about that, it's going down to C tier playset. We'll go above Obi-Wan.
Okay, so as everybody knows, we do not rehearse any of this, and I think that shows in a lot of ways. You literally just took the words out of my mouth. It's like Jordan and Pippen, baby.
Up next, the Ghost and Phantom 2, rumored to retire last year. We thought it was very unlikely that would happen, and sure enough, it was held back. So now it's looking more like a standard shelf life for a high price point playset like this. $160, 1,394 parts. If it retires, it'll be a 2-year and 4-month shelf life. 5 unique minifigures, all very well done. The ship itself is way more colorful than the last version. It's larger, more expensive. Also includes the Phantom, so you get both of them there. And just the turret movement, the interior, it's way better on this one, in my opinion. Very high quality product. Amazon exclusive. So looking at the last couple of Amazon exclusives, do those give us cause for concern? The Darth Vader castle did not do well. The other Amazon exclusive, the Playscale Razor Crest, has not done well as an investment. So Ghost and Phantom 2, I don't know. I personally really like this set and I have high hopes in it. Will it retire? I'm just not sure. But LEGO Star Wars is a little crowded with these $100 to $160 play sets. There's quite a few of them, and so they will need to clear some shelf space. Do you think this will actually retire?
I do, but partly because it's an Amazon exclusive, which means that it will retire and Amazon could still have 10 months of zombie stock.
I do not believe that this will actually become unavailable at the end of the year. If I can get this for like 110 or less, then I'll bite. But I would really like to load up on this at 100, and then even if it doesn't retire, then I can liquidate and be okay. People like me who got burned last year are going to be reluctant to jump in again this year deep. Ironically, that's going to create the opportunity for this to be undersupplied and to grow in price post-retirement. So we'll have to wait and see. I really like this set. I know you say you've always hated the greebling along the sides. I don't care, man. The colors, the design, it's so good.
So let's go through the check boxes real quick because it checks them all. 160 for 1,400 pieces and 5 exclusive minifigures, perfectly good. Less than 2.5 year shelf life, perfectly good. $80 of minifigure value on a $160 set, fantastic. The Bucky demand data showing an all all-time sales rank of under 15,000 and high average daily drops. I know we've got red over here. We talked about that's pretty common this time of year. So for me, checks all the boxes, which gives me concern. I think this set is a very, very high candidate for everybody to be talking about way too much, and this one just has too much supply on the secondary market because it is that good. Doesn't mean that it'll be a terrible investment. Does mean you have to be the one that gets it on the best discount and be willing to hold it possibly a little bit longer and deal with the Amazon zombie stock.
And potentially be willing to forego it if you don't get the best price. And if you hear of others getting a better price, if you miss that, you can't really play from behind. The most likely scenario, I think, is this does not go as low as 100. I do not pick up a lot. A lot of people hoard up at like 20% off, and then it spends forever under 200 bucks. So I'm going to get one for myself, absolutely, in case it retires. I don't want to miss it. I thought I had one, but I lost a lot of personal collection stuff. So I got to get another one. It's one of the best sets of the year. I will predict, Kevin, it's only March as we record this, but I predict by the end of the year, this is going to be in your top 3 most mentioned LEGO Star Wars sets.
It's a tough one to rank, right? Like, if we're ranking off of metrics, it's going top of solid choice. If we're ranking off of the potential risk, I got to put in the middle of BARC Speed or B tier.
So you're trying to average the risk between the good case and the bad case?
Yep.
Interesting. I'm going to put it at the bottom tier of solid choice. I do believe it's solid, but I think it's just a little bit overrated.
Okay, that's fair.
Next up, we have 75362 Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi Shuttle. $80 set with 4 figures, only 600 parts. I'm going to talk about a factor that's a little bit silly for LEGO investing, which is actually price per box cubic inch. It's an $80 set in the same form factor as the $65 TIE Bomber, that standard LEGO Star Wars mid-size box size, same as the Mandalorian Starfighter from a couple years ago. However, at the same time, this presents as such a bad value in that $60 box. I just have a hard time with it. Also, beware, because this has been a widely available Costco discount set. There's a gazillion of them out there. For these reasons, I'd be using caution.
I totally agree, but the issue with this one is the price. $80, way too expensive, which means if there's going to be any chance of making a good return on it, it needs to be on a huge discount. And what happens when a decent Star Wars set is publicized or gets out there at 50% off? Everybody goes and gets it, right? So there's too much risk at either end. If it isn't on a good discount, it's too high of a buy-in price for there to be room for growth. And if it is on a discount, it's going to be oversupplied. I'm generally out, even though I love it for personal collection. I do want to show, though, that the minifigures are okay, but not great. They're all $5 to $12.
I think just like the Ghost, if you're not getting the absolute rock bottom price, it's going to be hard to be profitable on this to the scale of 100% in 2 years, like we were talking about.
Yeah, and the difference between these two is the Ghost checks all the blocks. So when you get a good discount, you've got the indicators to show there's opportunity. T6 Shuttle does not check all the demand and investment blocks, and so the risk is just too high.
Our list is looking a little vacant in the bottom couple tiers. I'm not sure if we can quite put this down in Dagobah Diorama D tier, but maybe just at the bottom end of C tier playset for now. We have some far worse ones coming up.
Totally agree. Up next, we have a battle pack set 75375 Ambush on Mandalore battle pack. DG, this is an easy one. Mandalorian is on the downside in terms of popularity right now. These figures are not great for army building, not very massable. A lot of negative energy around this set. I don't care that it's a 1.5 year shelf life. It's a bad investment for me.
These are very cool figures, especially the white ones, but as a battle pack, it doesn't work as well. So I don't foresee this being a huge success. However, 18-month shelf life, that's relatively short. Maybe something to look at. This is not the worst investment, but I will not be loading up on these. I'll probably get one for personal collection and that's it.
Yeah, definitely got to get one for personal collection.
So I think it's fair to put this right in the middle of C tier playset. Because if
really? Oh, yeah, man, I'm going Dagobah Diorama D tier. Wait a minute.
What is this battle pack hate? Man, if you can get them 20% off and sell them for $30, you're going 16 to 30.
Still put it in Dagobah Diorama D tier. And by the way, it just dawned on me that you named the D tier after a diorama. You're killing me, man.
Yeah, well, I finally liquidated the last of my dioramas, so I am diorama free. Looking forward to enjoying being that way for the future.
Did you have a fire help you out with being diorama free? free, or did you do those all on your own?
I did have a tax-deductible casualty loss involving, yes, the loss of a whole lot of Lego inventory.
I still have something like 30 dioramas from the first wave, and I haven't done anything with them yet.
May they weigh you down for years to come. They're paperweights, and they will not do anything. And so I wish you much clutter with those. And so we shall see what happens.
They will be quite the drag. But in the meantime, that battle pack cannot be in the C tier playset.
We can put it at the bottom of C tier, but it's not diorama tier, D tier. That will be reserved for, let's see, a couple sets coming up. Up next, a very strange set, the 75374, the Onyx Cinder. This set reminds me a lot of a set from a couple years ago, the Ambush on Ferrix from the Andor Season 1. The reason I see the parallel there, although this is double the price point, is that they're both aircraft from specific TV shows, and Disney has kind of cheapened the Star Wars brand by pumping out so much mid-tier content that there's kind of too much to keep track of if you're not a really dedicated fan. And so these are exclusive characters. Maybe they'll be somewhat rare. I think I see $60 of minifigure value, or 70, so close to half the value already. So if this retires with just a 16-month shelf life, it could sneak out under people's noses, but Ferrix hasn't done well. A couple of these strange Star Wars ships haven't done well.
DG, excellent analysis, but I totally disagree. This is very, very different from the Ferrix set. Taking a look at this one, what do we get here? Another gray Star Wars ship that's basically a blob with a junk side build, and the minifigures are okay. Yeah, one's got some bright color, but they kind of look like bland people, really, as opposed to Star Wars minifigures.
Oh, look, a gray blob Star Wars ship.
Coming back to the Onyx Cinder, now we've got something different here. This is a blob black Star Wars ship, except like you said, it's weird. Look at all these different weird angles and greeveling and all these random colors in here. The fact that the engines can be rotated for the VTOL and then put into fly mode here, and it looks pretty slick when it's flying with everything kind of closed up and sleeked out. But then the cherry on top is that these minifigures are actually kind of cool. There's a unique headpiece here, some color in here, and let me point out lastly that Skeleton Crew is a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.1 on IMDb.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but it's on my list. I just haven't had time to see it yet.
See, exactly. There's so much Star Wars stuff they keep pumping out that there's just, like, who even cares? Did you even see Acolyte?
No, but...
That's what I'm saying, man. There's too much.
But that one had horrible reviews. Nobody wanted to watch that one. This one has great reviews. I'm watching it.
Okay, yeah, right. I might pick up a couple of the sets. It's kind of an underrated, sneaky pick.
I think it flies under the radar. I'm putting it at the bottom, a solid choice.
Wow, solid choice. Could be obscure, could be something. It goes in the middle of B tier. Sorry.
I can live with that. Next up are the two Midi-scale ships retiring at the end of this year, Tantive IV and Invisible Hand. Invisible Hand is a Target exclusive. None of these Midi-scales have retired yet. There's a few from years ago, but they're too old to be good comparables.
I think we have lots of relevant current 2025 releases driving demand here. We had the recently launched Acclamator Republic Assault ship. We also had the Mon Calamari Home 1. Yes, I said Calamari. So here's how I feel about the Tantive. This ship is super desirable in all of its past forms. It's really cool. However, without the minifigure lineup and in this kind of awkwardly small scale, it is expensive. 654 parts for $80 US. That's steep. Looking at the camel chart, it's sold between its $80 MSRP and down to about $60. So the market price is finding its way on this set to the right place, regardless of the MSRP. Lego can price things however they want, but ultimately what matters is what people will pay for it. The play set from about 5 years ago, $200, so cool, and that one's performed very well as an investment. So I do think the midis are very collectible, but this really expensive one, not being a store exclusive, I'm not sure if people are really going to want to go back and pay an inflated $100 for this or $120. Not sure I really see that. I'd rather put my money elsewhere.
And we'll rank them both in a second, but now what do you think on Invisible Hand?
I've seen this on sale for $30, 40% off already. And now that it's retiring, picking it up on that price, I am absolutely going to be loading up on this. But at the same time, I'm going to be watching out at Black Friday because in past years, those Target exclusives for Black Friday, this could be $25. Target likes to go absolutely crazy for Black Friday and even the month before.
Yeah, and already $50 for 557 pieces. I know a lot of them are small, but it seems a lot more palatable.
This ship is so cool and it comes apart in the middle, which is just perfect.
But quick PSA though, I'm not buying anything until late in the year, especially Star Wars. You got to get past May the 4th and into the July-August months before I'm really going to be picking any of these up.
Definitely, I'm going to hold off after last year's May the 4th pushback caused me to buy some non-retiring sets.
And I do like that this one comes with the 25 anniversary print on it also.
I do kind of wish they'd put minifigures with these Midi-scale, like a Grievous with the invisible hand, or like a Leia, or a Rebel Friend with the Tantive, Clone Pilot with the Acclimator. I mean, come on, it's endless possibilities. You know, then you can charge an extra $5.
And then the stand, especially this one, would be balanced with the plaque on one side.
That's what I'm saying. Just one fig,
plaque
one
in the middle,
fig per
and
set.
then the minifigure right there. It's almost like they made it for us so that we can put a minifigure on those two studs, you know, one of our own. But yeah, you're right. It should have come in the box.
Let's rank these. So I already let you know my preference for Invisible Hand. Tantive is going to be our first D tier investment. I see that look on your face.
Not that low. It can go in the middle, bottom part of C tier.
All right, fine. With the battle pack.
There you go.
Man, I really feel like the Starship collection is going to perform in between the helmets, which are amazing, and the dioramas, which are horrible. But looking here at the Invisible Hand, which is, I think, objectively a better candidate for investment consideration, if we can get it at 40% off, $30, I do see a long runway ahead of it. I love sets in this price point, in this form factor. I'm just going to give it away in this video. This is going to be one of my top candidates. I'm just putting it out there.
Wow.
It's a very solid choice.
Okay, that's fair.
What, you were worried I was going to go S tier, absolute winner, Lambo fire?
I was worried.
So I have one word on my notes for the BARC Speeder Escape, and the word is meh.
That is too kind. I thought it was going to be trash.
You thought the one word was going to be lamppost? There is indeed the lamppost there. That's sort of infamous. 2 regular 501st clone troopers, which dilutes the impact of the battle pack, not retiring. Then you have Keller and Beck here with the cape. I will say a cape in a $30 set. That's pretty cool. The little Grogu side pod is not too bad. 221 parts for $30 is expensive, but it's not crazy. I don't see this doing well. However, I would say this is a candidate if there's a Walmart 2-in-1 pack or 3-in-1 pack. It's frequently sets like these. And I will say I've done very well in the past on sets like Trouble on Tatooine, crappy $30 sets, getting them for half off. You can actually make some pretty decent money at a good scale. And I've done that in the past. So I will be considering this if I see it like better than half off.
What I love about this set is Lego knew out of the gate how bad it was. And so they did the box art to make it look like it comes with 4 clone troopers instead of 2. That bottom row matches it all up. I mean, look at that box. You really think there's a lot more in there. It's garbage. Let's rank it.
It's going to go in D tier. All right.
Generous. But we do want to clarify that BARC Speeder B tier is still misnamed because this set is well below the B tier. It should be in sequel trilogy, but if you're going to put it in Dagobah Diorama D tier, then so be it.
All right. Up next, we have another absolute dog water set.
It'd be kind of funny if it's so bad we don't even look at it.
You're not getting off that easy, Kevin. I have to roast you for your wrong opinions about dioramas. The 10 parts pack is pretty cool, but man, the value is just not there. $80 is crazy. Even at 20% off or 25%, which it currently is, not even close to retirement, 25% off, not a good sign. $60, still not selling. Dioramas, you got to get half off. And even when you do, there's such low liquidity in terms of being able to sell them. Nobody actually wants dioramas. So I'm finding they're very difficult to sell, and I've moved on to greener pastures. So
I will be picking one up for personal collection because I still personally like them. But, let's at least spend a moment talking about the positives on this set. All right, so now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and rank it.
I will say the Sebulba's Pod Racer, pretty cool. I believe those are stickers, unfortunately. The Anakin's is very mid. Tatooine Desert, it's really just a bunch of tan angled slopes, which are cool and useful, and but not $80 worth. This set is just way overpriced for what it is, and it's not a good concept for a set.
Now, DG, time for the quiz.
Oh, yeah?
What do you think of the quote? Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think. Use your instincts.
I think it's probably too many words. They could have cut some of that out. But I will say, of the diorama quotes, this is one of the less cringy. Well, we already said this is going in the bottom of sequel trilogy. This is absolute dog water. We should have called it. Boom. Now we've got population in all the rows.
It's where it belongs.
The 75381 Technic/System Droideka. Another set that, Kevin, I got to call you out on because when this first came out, you were all hyped. You said, I love it. You were sunshine and roses on the Droideka. And yet in a recent video, Kevin, I caught you bad-mouthing this Droideka. As a representative from the Droideka Union, I actually really need to air this grievance, and I need to challenge you publicly and ask you to defend yourself and your blasphemous thoughts.
I've got a couple of comparables. We got the BD1 that retired in 23. On Brickset, it says $114. So on Brickset,
but to be fair, on Amazon and Walmart, it's like $180. It's doing pretty well. It's nearly doubled.
But the Imperial probe droid droid was super hyped, not doing so well. And my concern is that the Droideka is being hyped similar to the Imperial probe droid.
I understood that set as soon as I got it and built it for myself. It made me understand why it flopped as an investment. It's kind of finicky, the legs are fragile and everything. I mean, it's a decent price per piece. It doesn't feel like a ripoff or anything, but it's not something you want, is the easiest way I can say it. And the Droideka, I don't think suffers from this, especially if they do buildable figures, which they have, or if they do any kind of clone helmet or droid, Trade Federation, Brown, anything, Phantom Menace, anything, any kind of anniversary that they do. This is an awesome destroyer droid, and I think it's going to be in demand. Now, 65 is too much. I would want to maybe consider stacking up some of these at under $40. I'm also a little skeptical this will retire, having been launched just midway through 2024. That would give it about a 20-month shelf life. A little short to me.
Do you think that there's any chance that a lot of people would want two of this set because it does fold up, so you'd want one open and one closed?
I think so. I did have kind of a crazy thought, which is what if they followed this up with a tan brown battle droid, or even a pearl gray super battle droid? That could really send this Droideka flying. I don't think they'll do something like that, to be fair. So in light of that concern, I can put this no higher than BARC Speeder B tier, but it's not the worst. We'll put him ahead of Cody.
As long as it's below the Onyx Cinder.
Up next, we have 75383, the Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator, launched in May of 24. If retires, it'll have a 20-month shelf life. That's pretty short. $70 set, 4 unique minifigures. I'll just say this is not a vehicle that I like whatsoever. I find it ugly, it's studdy, the shaping is not good in my opinion. There's an interesting thing with the Qui-Gon here. There's a reddish-brown variant, which early in the production run, the Qui-Gon minifigure was printed with reddish-brown facial hair.
Here's the reddish-brown variant, over $200 on Bricklink.
But how many have actually sold? 83 in the last 6 months sold new. In March, they've sold for 173, 192, but even just going back to February, okay, interesting. So it looks like midway through Feb, it rose up. What about January? What was the price in January? No premium, $15 before it was discovered.
Yeah, and then if we look at the new dark brown style, it's only a $10 minifigure, $10 to $15 minifigure.
So I don't know, are you going to go looking in obscure bookstores and strange places for these?
Unlikely, low probability to find one. It's nice that Lego makes these mistakes every now and then. I actually did a quick Google just to see, and it said due to a production variation or an unintentional change.
Explanation, the reddish brown version was produced in week 5 and the dark brown produced by week 12. So conceivably there were up to 7 weeks of production of this first rare variant. I'll say if I'm traveling through like a remote backwoods part of the country, I may check in with like a Barnes & Noble or something to see if they have an original. You know, if they haven't sold a bunch of these, they might have some first run ones from about a year ago.
But outside of that, I'm not going to waste my time chasing it down. Yeah, I don't like this ship very much either. And then with the price, it's worrisome. And then the fourth minifigure is
the Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, valued at $30. So that is cool. To me, this feels like another set we're about to talk about where it all comes down to a single minifigure, and I don't like to invest in a set that's over $35, $40 when it's all about a single minifigure.
Between the Qui-Gon and the Saw Gerrera, good luck selling this online without tons of returns with people, you know, removing the minifigure. We got to put this at the bottom of C tier playset.
Or the top of Dagobah Diorama D tier even.
Now, unfortunately, we have some much worse picks coming up. We have to leave room down there in the cellar.
We do. Speaking of DG, here's our annual Star Wars 4+ set that is way overpriced, $50, 136 pieces. What do you think?
Well, that price is just like literally ridiculous. I will say I've seen this on sale for $25, and Lego can price things how they want, but the market always finds its true price, and it's not moving very much at $25, half off.
Here are 2 most recent 4+ examples. Neither of them are great. This one is still widely available, even though it's retired. And then the ATST 22 on brick set. It was on sale for 50% off, and on Walmart and Amazon, I'm sure they're making a few bucks, but it's not worth my time in my opinion. But the one that's retiring this year, this Crimson Firehawk, does have some interesting minifigures that are worth keeping a slight eye on. Nubs, $15. This one, Nash, is under $10, but Nubs at $15 is kind of interesting.
Looking at Nubs' head just gave me a crazy idea, and I'm predicting it. I think I'm the first to predict this. I think Lego is going to do Lego Neopets. I think they would sell a ton of Lego sets. They could make different items. I mean, there's so many Lego ideas they could do. So you heard it here first. You know, it's my idea.
You better submit that into the ideas and get your 10,000 votes. All right, let's rank this 4+ set.
All right, I think we already know. Wah, wah, sequel trilogy. Here it goes.
So I actually think it's above those bottom 2. Now, the last 2 4+ sets were easily there, but I think this one one is better than the diorama and better than the BARC speeder.
Oh, at half off?
You know it's going to be heavily discounted, and that Nubs minifigure is of interest.
All right, fine. I can live with that. 75385 Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. This is just ridiculous. 382 parts. Where do they even go in this build? What even is this build? It's a platform with 4 large canopy parts with stickers on them, and it's a minifigure pack. 5 figs, all unique. $55. Highway robbery.
Hot take. I actually like this set. Now,
for investment or for yourself?
Both. Now, it will be on sale, so I'm assuming a 30% discount at minimum.
Oh, I was thinking a $30 buy price.
Oh, yeah. Lower would be even better, but 30% minimum. But here's the reason that I like it. Less than a year and a half shelf life. Even though Ahsoka Season 1 was only okay, people in general still love Ahsoka. Her arc is still growing. There's a lot of future variables. There's rumors. I mean, obviously Season 2 is coming, but there's rumors she's going to have appearances in other shows. The gamble is, are those appearances any good or not? If they are, then I think there is something in this set because the minifigures today are valued at $52 on a $55 set. The minifigures are good. Ahsoka, Ezra, Admiral Thrawn is awesome. The Morgan Elsbeth, who has been taken over by the spirits, I forget the word. And then the Night Trooper is
cool. It's not a standard Stormtrooper. I didn't know it was a special Night Trooper.
So there is something here. And by the way, this is the best scene in all of Season 1, in my opinion.
If you pick it up at half off, $28 from its $55 retail, I would definitely pick it up on behalf of the minifigures. This seems like another candidate. Maybe it could bundle with that BARC Speeder Escape in some sort of Walmart 3-in-1 that might make its way into my new temporary warehouse at a cost of $50 each to my credit card. Please, Walmart. Thank you very much. Maybe bundle that with a third garbage play set we could get to next. So I actually don't hate this set, but I gotta say it's not going to be my top pick for a performer.
No, not top pick, but those minifigure numbers are surprising. So I think it's in BARC Speeder B tier towards the bottom.
A little generous to the Duel on Peridea. What do we think about that?
I am. What
does the comment section think about KDX being so brazenly optimistic the way he always is? You know, what's funny is I was thinking of throwing this in D tier.
Wow. Well, I can handle middle of C tier then. Maybe near the other Ahsoka ship.
I don't think it's better than the X-Wing as an investment, so I'll put it here behind the X-Wing. And finishing out our guessing of the Walmart 3-pack with a 75386 Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon battle. Those 3 just nebulous playsets morphed together for a $50 Walmart pack, and I will probably invest in it because those 3-in-1 packs are amazing discounts.
That is $105 in retail Star Wars sets. You mentioned the ambush on Mandalore. I'm hovering over. Notice that these 2 sets connect. Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon battle and ambush on Mandalore. This is the better of the 2 by far. The red minifigures are awesome, and having Moff Gideon and Paz Vizsla, especially this is the scene where we lose Paz Vizsla. Just a little
spoilers, bro. What the heck?
Season 3 of Mando came out like 2 years ago. So with that said, let's look at Camel 3X for a minute. It did pop up briefly during the holidays when it was out of stock to over $60. It's not a lot of data points, but it's a little something there. When we look at Google Trends, Mando does have some good blips when we compare it to Star Wars, so I like that data. I actually don't want to kill this set. I think there is a little something here because the minifigures are unique, and that Paz Vizsla minifigure is great.
LEGO has begun making so many sets per year and cranking out play sets that I don't think this is really going to be remembered as an all-time memorable set, but the minifigures might be.
I don't disagree.
So this is obviously a C-tier playset. My question is, where exactly does it rank in the lineup here? Thinking maybe worse than Peridea.
I was thinking it was right near it.
I'm going to need a fatter discount on this. Maybe is Obi-Wan better than this? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's right here.
Yeah, because it's above T6.
It's below it's above it?
It's got to be above the shuttle, because that shuttle's so expensive.
And it's been so Costco-ified.
Yeah.
But this set, the only cool thing about this set is the figures, dude. The build is so mid.
So the build isn't that bad, actually. I mean, it really is key in the scene.
I can't really put it above the Starship. It has to be down here with the...
You're wrong, but I'm okay with that.
All right, there it is. Take a look, folks. All right, moving on. You can drive next time.
Up next, 75387, boarding the Tantive IV. This just got moved to the retirement list for this year. That's good. Just over a year and a half shelf life, $55, 502 pieces, but lots of minifigures. There's a lot of good here. It has a 25-year anniversary minifigure. I'm actually good with the retail price on this one. Not for investing, because you know every set eventually has some sort of discount, whether stacking GWPs or insider points or something. Such a classic scene. It had to be done, and I love it on both accounts, personal and investing.
Yeah, other than the ridiculous Family Guy helmet stormtroopers, I don't love those. 7 figures for this price and the amount of bulk, 500 kind of brick bulky parts. I can't complain at the price either. And this has begun to be available everywhere for 20% off. So at an even lower price, like below $40, I would consider this for investment. So Kevin, if you like the Tantive as well as I do, where do you rank boarding the Tantive IV?
So it actually reminds me a lot of that Dropship, and I think it has similar potential. So I think right next to that Dropship.
Stop it. Oh wait, that Dropship? I thought you meant the Crimson. I thought you were being funny.
No, the Dropship 2-pack up there.
Oh, I see. Is it better or worse?
I think it's just worse. So I would put it right there.
I'm not mad at that. All right, up next we have the only remaining Lego Star Wars mech, the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing mech, 75390, launched in June of 24. If it retires at the end of 25, that will be all for mechs. We got that first round of 3, and then this one is the 4th one. At just 1 new mech per year, this is not enough to carry this sub-theme when we only have 1 on the shelf, and it could be potentially leaving. So I predict to go with our UCS Jango Fett's Slave 1 in 2025. I think we're also going to see a Jango Fett's Slave 1 mech.
I hope so, because it was such a great idea. I know everybody was pissed when the mechs came out on Star Wars. I love them. I've always loved them, but we need more of them. If we don't get any more, then they're all bad investments. Until we know for sure, I'm going to be very cautious on this one. I like the first 3. They're still readily available at retail, so we haven't been able to get any comparable data on secondary market yet.
Can we prematurely say, just like with the helmets, that this is a dead sub-theme?
And then have it come back like the helmets did?
I don't know of any rumors for forthcoming 2025 more mechs. So is there one coming in 26, or are they just killing it already?
So I think we have to assume there are no more mechs until we know anything else when it comes to making investment decisions.
Orange jumpsuit Rebel pilots are so common. There's always one available in the advent calendar or the 4+ microfighter or snow speeder. Those are so common. Nothing special about this pilot, Luke, I don't really think. So until I see some better results from mechs, I gotta put this down in D tier.
It's above those 2 in D tier, but yeah.
Wow, not even a C tier playset. Next up, we have the easiest layup ever to rank. It's so good. 75392 Creative Play Droid Builder. $100 Target exclusive, I believe. 1,186 parts. You get 4 droids here, as well as this 25th anniversary young Leia minifigure. More on her later. Launched in August of 24. If it retires, it'll be a 16-month shelf life, and I think this will retire. I don't think it's selling well at all. But Kevin, I gotta say, I had no idea until you showed me this, that Princess Leia alone in her young version takes up half the retail value. That's crazy.
So I did know that, and it actually was a little higher a few months ago. That number has been trickling down. I don't invest in an expensive set when all the value is hinging on one minifigure. No chance. Not even on a good discount. Passing.
I was ready to throw this in the basement of sequel trilogy, dog water tier, but honestly, with that figure, I don't know. It could have some potential. It's going to go in sequel trilogy, but you know what? It's going to go above that Mos Espa Podrace diorama.
Well, that's a no-brainer. As much as I love dioramas, those brick-built droids are better than that diorama.
Up next, we have the TIE Fighter and X-Wing mashup set, where you can interchange the wings. $110, over 1,000 parts, only 5 minifigures. So it's kind of a funny concept. That exclusive astromech droid could hold some value, but overall, there's going to be another TIE Fighter and X-Wing in playscale form in the next, 2 years tops. So is there anything really that special about this one? The interchangeability? Well, maybe. But is that really going to make this an all-time classic that some future fan will want to go back and pay a premium price for? I do not think so.
Yeah, and the interchangeability doesn't help it as an investment at all. Now, I'm thrilled that LEGO produced this set. As a kid, I would have loved that. I would have done that like crazy.
It's just like, are enough people going to care about that feature to specifically go spend their hard-earned money on like a rare, obscure version of something? It's almost like the motorized walking AT-AT. Like some people will go like, that's the one I want. It has to be that one. But most people are like, I just want to play scale AT-AT. I'll take the cheapest one, like whatever one. It doesn't matter. So you have to think of like the different buyers and different slices of what people want. I don't think this is a broad enough appeal, and I don't think it's going to do well as a LEGO investment.
X-Wings and TIE Fighters are produced over and over over and over. That's the issue here. But I do want to point out, DG, we've talked a lot about minifigures in this video. $110 set, $53 of minifigure value so far.
We are going to condemn it down here to the very bottom of C tier playset.
I was thinking top of D tier. I can live with that.
Is this a D tier investment? Is it the top of D? It's the top of D.
Okay.
Who is going to go back and get this just for a McDonald's astromech droid? Come on.
I was worried you were going to put it in sequel trilogy.
It's the top of D.
Sorry, when the minifigures are valued at half the cost, then it can't be in sequel trilogy. So, yep, agree with top of D.
All right, and our very last set is a very interesting one. 75396 Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit, $80, and it's half of the scene that should have been included with the UCS sail barge. They're retiring this companion set before they retire the $500 sail barge.
And that alone is the only reason that I might watch it a little bit. I think this is the most difficult set to figure out for investing this year because the price is astronomical, but the minifigures are very good. And like you said, they need to be part of this set. And with this set going, how many people are going to have spent $500 or, some huge number on the UCS and forget to pick up its companion? I don't think it's going to be a lot. I heard somebody say, all those people that own the UCS in the future are going to need to come back and get this one. Yes, obviously there's going to be a chunk who bought the UCS in 26 after this set is retired, but is it going to be that much? I don't know.
There's new Lego fans re-entering Lego every single year, and someone who does that in 26 or 27 and gets the sail barge and says, oh man, this is awesome. I wish I had the Sarlacc Pit and the skiff and half the other minifigures from the scene, is going to have to pay aftermarket prices.
I agree, but now let's take a look at this sail barge. How many people are buying this set?
It's a great set. It's awesome. I thought about buying it.
Really? I do not like this set. I would never own this set in my personal collection.
It's a little similar to the Razor Crest. It's a blend of a display and a detailed interior play UCS set. The kitchen in this set alone is amazingly detailed.
Sure, but what are you going to see most of the time? The exterior, and this pattern of brown on the exterior is horrendous. I hate that uniformity. Terrible, way too studdy. Not for me.
Wow, all the hate. So I don't mind that it's a good mix of tiles and studs, actually. I think that's a fine balance.
And that line or crease right there is just an eyesore to me.
It's not that bad. Kevin's always drawing lines on the pictures to try to... He thinks in lines, like those darn accountants. These figures, and yeah, that's true, half the retail. But I will say, past versions of these figures, these aren't really super desirable. Like a Tatooine Han, Chewie. Yep. We all know Chewie is not anything. Yep. Even the Landos from these scenes are not super valuable, and Luke Skywalker's are obviously not much either.
Yep.
The Boba, maybe that's something. And I can't remember that guy's name, the 25th anniversary guy, the little A-wing pilot. Num. That's right.
He is worth almost $20.
So that's pretty good. It's more than I'd expect.
Yeah, but then the rest of them are basically $5 or less.
Yeah, as I said, even other versions aren't valuable, so it's unlikely that these would go on to become valuable. Yeah, because of the Jabba sail barge appeal, I do see this set doing actually okay, and I think you can sell this for $100. So if you can get it, again, starting with the end in mind, knowing your sale price, if you can buy it for $40 and sell for $100, after fees, you're close to doubling your money. That's pretty good.
Do you think the Sarlacc Pit is adequate enough to go next to the sail barge?
I think it encourages you to build more around it, but so short answer, no. But for the set, I mean, it's more that the price is too high, I think, than that it's too small.
But now let's take a look back at the sail barge. So you've got this lineup of minifigures with Jabba. The only way really to display these is on a platform like this. You can't really populate them onto the deck of the ship and make it look right? Now, when you look at the Sarlacc Pit set and you see that this doesn't fit well next to the sail barge, then really what you're getting is morph minifigures. And how do those minifigures fit into the set? It's not like you can put them on the deck. You're just adding to the lineup. Does that really add much value to people with the UCS sail barge? That's my other question. I don't know that there's much more. Like, I feel like I'd be fine with this lineup and somebody would say, oh, it doesn't have all the characters. I'd say, sure, but that's in another set. But we know what they are, but these are the more unique characters that go with this set. Plus, where would I display them? So I don't see, even though this is its sister set, I honestly don't think that it really connects well visually, mentally, in a lot of ways.
I guess you'd have to ask the people how they display their minifigures with their UCS sets, if they like them on the deck, all over the play features, or lined up in front.
Yeah, but I don't even think they would all fit on the deck here. Maybe they would. would, but it'd be tight.
I don't mind them out front, especially if they connect to that UCS plaque, which I believe they do.
Mm-hmm.
So the sail barge is awesome, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens and see if this desert skiff even does retire. Let's rank it. This is going to go in the far south end of C tier playset, or is it as high as B tier?
Not as high as B tier. I'm in the middle of C tier. That's where I am, but you might be a little higher than me.
As an investment from the price you can get it at, I think this will do better than the Shuttle.
Put it next to the Shuttle. I kind of have to agree with you on that.
I mean, they're actually, funny enough, the Shuttle and the Sarlacc pit have both been Costco sets. Yeah.
So they should go next to each other.
Well, anyway, you happy with that? Middle of C?
Yeah, I like it.
That is final then, folks. Let us know your thoughts. What is the set that you most agree with us on versus what is the set you think we got the most wrong?
Darth Vader helmet.
We always love to read your comments, and it's really wonderful that I am able to drive the mouse during these tier list recordings. I'll just say that compared to last year, this year's LEGO Star Wars class is smaller, and it's just a lot more C-tier play sets. Very overpriced display sets like your Podrace Diorama and even your Tantive IV, unfortunately.
Well, the last couple of years of Star Wars investing has been downward and harder. We got to go to ideas and icons and some less talked about sets. And so I think a lot of these are going to be tough investments unless, like we said all along through this video, we get that great discount. We're going to have to watch closely and be one of the lucky ones that bought these sets at the lowest price and not make the mistake of buying it at something higher and starting from behind.
True. Yeah, it can be hard to know what the bottom price is when you see it. But yeah, BrickBucks Ignite can help with that. If you're interested, link for a 1-month free trial in the description below. No obligation. If you want, you can sign up for a free month, binge the content, and then leave. But if you'd like to support us, we do also get an affiliate kickback from that link, so it's a good way to support the podcast. So if you're interested in leveling up your LEGO investment, you can check that out.
And we do appreciate everybody who has supported this podcast so far.
It's been awesome.
Yep.
So final thought, Kevin, what do you think about sets from 24 that got pushed back and now aren't even retiring in 25, like the 501st Battle Pack or the Executor Super Star Destroyer?
Well, the Battle Pack is low for me, because those figures are in a set that's retiring this year, not a good set, and Battle Packs have worn out. And the Executor Super Star Destroyer, it is a Walmart exclusive.
Correct.
So that one's going to be one of the higher midi-scale sets, other than the fact that it's going to have way too long of a shelf life now.
Yeah, oh well. My Battle Packs burned up, but my amazing fans were happy enough to send me some new ones, so I still have these. I can still smack you in the face with them. I'm actually probably going to open one up and build it, because this is a really cool build. This is a substantial, non-throwaway Battle Pack build. And
well, anything that's called a Swamp Speeder is going to be awesome.
Clone Battle Packs, the proof is in the pudding.
So you're killing me with those Battle Packs.
So what do you think? Leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching Brick Talk 27, and we'll be back in the future with another video soon.
See you guys in the next one.